Edward II. He was King of England from 1307 until 1327. His father was the King of England, Edward I, and his mother was Eleanor, the daughter of Ferdinand III of Castile. He was married to Isabella, the daughter of Philip III of France, the King of France. There were some problems during his reign. He had some advisors and some people didn't like him to have them. One of them, for example, Piers Gaveston. He was sent into exile just already in 1308 when he was just reigning for 1 year. But he came back then in 1309. In 1312, Piers Gaveston was kidnapped and killed. There were more problems. 1310, the Lord Ordains in the Parliament stood up something which should improve the administration of the reigning. And Thomas, the Earl of Lancaster, took control, the cousin of Edward II. Then there was in 1314 the Battle of Bannockburn, in which the Scottish army led by Robert the Bruce won over the English. He was able to quell a revolt at Boroughshire in Yorkshire, at Boroughbridge in Yorkshire. He was married to Isabella of France. She was 12 when she went to England and married in the same year already Edward II. He was 20. And she was not happy. She saw that Edward II's advisor, Piers Gaveston, was wearing rings and jewelry which her father, the King of France, Philip III, had just recently given to Edward II. Also was Edward II publicly embracing and kissing other men. And she described herself in great misery and to be the most wretched woman in the world. But at that time she thought she could do nothing about it. And gritted her teeth, is the book saying, and was a loyal and supportive advisor and courtier to her husband. When the time passed, Edward II took other lovers. He took Piers Gaveston and also his son Hugh as lovers. And when in 1827 Isabella of France seized the power, she took herself a lover, Roger Mortimer, in France. She went to France, stood up an army, and together with Roger Mortimer she sailed to Suffolk and defeated Edward II. Edward II had to abdicate, and his son Edward III became king. He was 14, so he wasn't ruling. His regents became Isabella of France and Roger Mortimer, the two who had come to England with sailing from France. When a little bit time passed, Sir Hugh Despenser and Hugh were put to death by the two. Some time passed, and Edward II was imprisoned in Berkeley Castle, and there were some people trying to rescue him, but on order of Isabella of France, so his wife, and Roger Mortimer, he was killed, and it should be done without leaving a mark on the body, so they killed him with a red glowing poker at a place invisible under the cloaks. Then some time passed, and Edward III got to be 18, and he was now full reigning. He got rid of Roger Mortimer and Isabella of France. He let Roger Mortimer be killed, and Isabella of France imprisoned at Castle Rasing. One thing back, Thomas, the Earl of Lancaster, who was having the power, made a barony revolt in 1328. There he was defeated and then also beheaded. Now back, Edward III was now ruling. And Edward III was ruling, and he was the son of the daughter of the King of France, and also his grandfather had as second wife the daughter of the King of France, the same, Philip III. And so he not just asserted the power of the English throne, but also said that he should have France's throne. There were successful battles, and they came to an agreement that he was not taking the French throne, but other places of France. The point is, the 100 Years' Wars started. With that, England and France were fighting for 100 years, not all the time, but a lot. And one big thing was that the English king was saying that he had a lot of inheritance from France and therefore the right to reign in France. In the middle is the story of Edward II. According to The History of the Kings and Queens of England and Scotland, written by Edmund Swinglehurst on the pages 68 and 69, the positions and views expressed are the ones of the source and don't necessarily align with my own or with the ones of the entity spoken of.